Hey, hello, and welcome to Prime Code Media. In this video, I'll be discussing the CSS Media Query breakpoints. Media query is a technique to target elements for styling only if a certain condition is true. So, a certain condition should be met first for a particular style to be applied or carried out. What makes this a very important technique is that it allows us to create responsive web pages. Now, using CSS media queries, we can, for example, decide that we want elements on our web page to be styled in a particular way on desktops, but to be styled differently on tablets and smartphones. This is in keeping with the mobile first development approach, which says the development process of websites should prioritize the mobile version before desktops and laptops. Now, as it is the case with many things in life, there are different views on this one. For example, there are those who prefer to design for mobile first, and those who, for example, say it's difficult to expand a mobile design to desktop and would rather design for desktop first and then make their designs responsive by ensuring that they are also usable on mobile devices. In my view, whatever works for you, just go for it. But please make sure that your design is responsive, because since 2016, more people in the world access the internet on mobile devices than on desktops. And to check if your website is mobile friendly, you can use Google's mobile friendly test. Now, let's take a look at a media query syntax. The syntax consists of a keyword, add media, a media type. This is a statement to be evaluated to find out if it's true or false. Other media types are all, screen, and speech. Media queries can also be used to evaluate or check the width and height of viewports or devices, their orientation and resolution. Now let's see this in practice. Inside the code play, I have a page which has a level 3 heading, reading "Welcome to my page," a 150 by 150 pixel image. I am using a lorem pixum link as my source for this one. I also have a paragraph of lorem ipsum text, and this is how everything looks on a large screen. First, using media query, I want the color of this text, or that is the heading as well as the paragraph, to turn blue when it is printed. So that is the condition. I want the text, that is the heading and the paragraph, to turn blue only when I am printing this page. Now, to achieve this, I am going to come inside my CSS section here and target the div. This is the tag name, and then I am going to specify the styling that I want to apply. So what I want to apply here is the color. I want to change the color. So this is the CSS property, and the value is the color that I want. That is blue. Now you'll see when I run this code, the text inside my document turns blue. That is the heading and the paragraph, they are now blue. But this is not what I want. I want the content, the text content, to only turn blue when I am printing. Now, to achieve this, I'll have to use a media query. Now, first I'm going to put in a keyword, and then I'm going to specify the condition under which I want this text to turn blue right here. Now let me run the code. You'll see after running the code that the text content goes back to its default black color. Now everything is back to how it was earlier. Now I am going to attempt to print this document. Now let me try to print this document and see if indeed the text content turns blue. Now there we go. The text has turned blue, and this is because I have attempted to do what to print it. So it is under this condition that the text only turns blue. That is when I am trying to print. Now, in addition to the color of the text turning blue when printed, I can say, for example, that I also want the text to be centered. Now, to achieve that, let's go back to the CSS section. Now I am going to come in here. I'm going to use the text align property like so. Text align. And then I'm going to set it to center. Now let me run this code. Now, as you can see, everything is back to how it was earlier. The text content is black, and the content inside this page is left aligned. Now, in addition to the text content turning blue when printed, I also want the entire content on this page to be centered when I am printing. Now, let me attempt to print and see if we are able to achieve that. Now, we have successfully managed to make our content to be centered when we are printing. As you can see, that apart from the text content turning blue when we are printing, it has also been centered. And this is what we are able to achieve using a media query. Now, as I said earlier, media queries can also be used to check the width and height of viewports or devices. So I can decide that I am fine with everything looking this way on desktops and laptops, but want everything to be centered on tablets and smartphones. Now, to achieve this, we will go ahead and come inside our CSS and use again a media query. Now we are going to specify the width here. Now I'm going to say, for example, let me put in the brackets, and then inside here I'll say a maximum width. Maximum width 900 pixel. Now what this means here is that I want the content inside this div to be centered only on screens that have a maximum width of 900 pixel. Now, taking it from our preview here, we know that a screen that has a maximum width of 900 pixel is anything smaller than laptop and desktop. So that will be your tablets downwards. So the size of your tablets downwards, tablets and smartphones. Now let's run this code and see if this does work. Now this is how everything looks on a large viewport. That is the size of your laptop and desktop. Now let's see how this will look on a tablet. Now as you can see on the tablet, the content becomes centered, and as we earlier specified, the color also changes to blue. So even on a smartphone, let's see on a smartphone how everything will look. Now this is how everything will look on a smartphone. So what this means is that on large viewports, this is the desktop and laptops, this is how the content will look. Everything will be left aligned and the text content will be black, and on tablets everything will be centered and the text will be blue. On mobiles it will also be centered and the text will also be blue. And this is just an example of how we can use the media queries to check the width and height of viewports or devices. The wording of breakpoints can be confusing sometimes. For example, if we say the maximum width is 900 pixel. Now what this means is that from 900 pixel downwards. So on the other hand, if the minimum width is 900 pixel, this means from screens that are 900 pixel upwards. So then we will be specifying this the other way. For example, if I come here and just change, replace maximum with minimum, you'll see that when I run this code, the content will be centered and will be blue. So this is because we have now changed maximum, replace the maximum with minimum here, and then you'll see that this time around when we view this on a tablet, everything is left aligned and the text content is blue. And that will also be the case if we are viewing this page on mobile, and this styling will only be applied when we are viewing this page on a laptop or desktop. And this is because, as we specified here, we said this styling should be carried out when we are viewing this on viewports that have a minimum width of 900 pixel. What we are also able to do with media queries is that we can also have more than one parameter. So for example, if I want to target, I'm just going to, as an example, I'm going to target this heading here, the level 1, that is the level 3 heading, this H3. So I'm going to come inside here. I'm just going to delete everything here and then run this code so that everything gets back to how it was in the beginning. Now, what I want to target at this time is this H3. So inside here, I am going to specify the font size of this heading. I'm going to give it a font size. Let me give it a 20 pixel size. So I'm not going to do anything to the color of this heading. So now let me just run this code and see. So this is the 20 pixel. This is how the 20 pixel font size looks. Now I am going to come in here and then use the key here at media, and then I am going to add a minimum width to this one, and then I'll say the minimum width is 900 pixel, and this is the second parameter. Inside here I'm going to say the maximum width will be 1100 pixel, and then I'm going to add a set of curly braces here. And then inside here I am going to specify what should happen to my level 3 heading. I'm going to use the tag name, a set of curly braces, and then I'm going to specify the styling that I want to apply to the level 3 heading when this condition is met. Now I want the font size to be 40 pixel. Let me also change the color, so meaning that when the size of this the font size changes, the color will also change. So let me just give it a color. I'm going to use blue again. Okay, so this will be the color. So now let me run this code. Now what this means is that this style will be carried out when this page is viewed on a viewport that is larger than 900 pixel but smaller than 1100 pixel. So there is a 200 pixel gap. So let's see this in practice. I'm just going to run this code, and then I'm going to view this page on a small screen, that is the mobile size. Now let me enlarge the screen and see if there is a if our code is rendered accordingly. Now, as you can see, when we get to around this point, the color and the font size of our H3 changes. But when we move ahead and enlarge it, continue to enlarge it, you'll see that it goes back to its initial size and color. So here is that 200 pixel gap is just around here. So as you can see, now this is just an example of how this technique allows us to use more than one parameter. And with that, we've come to the end of our discussion of the CSS Media Query breakpoints. Thank you so much for watching. Let's code again next time. Take care. Bye.